like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this, and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. You're
listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
All right, shout out to the Who Dat Nation, man. We in this thing, late episode of the Coma, coming live and direct right at you. Shout out to the fam on this very busy and popping day for the Black and Gold. We got some news on Kendre Miller. We'll cover that momentarily. But the biggest scoop of the day is the fact that we got some good news on Kendre Miller. We also have some good news in terms of the Saints picking up a running back as the Saints add depth with running back Darrell Williams, signing him to a deal to come to the Black and Gold. Pretty positive, pretty popping, all gravy. So shout out to the Who Dat Nation. Appreciate y'all being in this late stream. Won't hold you guys for very long. Just wanted to talk at you right quick. Shout out to Elite, Jamaica, T Dirty, King Morrison, K-Man. Good to see y'all. OG Jerry in the building, Zandel, and the rest of the fam. Appreciate you. What's up, Action Jackson? How you doing, fam? Appreciate you. Good to see y'all in here. Much love to everybody, man. Thank y'all for jumping on in. So please do me a service. What's up, Richard? Please feel free to share the link on your social media feed. Hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. And by all means, hit the notification bell as well as we keep it popping. So big news of the day. Saints get a running back in. Running back Williams goes into the depth chart, helps out the Black and Gold. And, of course, we knew we looked at there were several running back signings today that happened. We know about Delvin Cook signing his deal, I think, with the Jets. Zeke Elliott's potential deal with the New England Patriots, and then the Saints reached down the free agency bandwagon and were able to grab the free agency running back room, and we're able to grab Mr. Williams and bring him on the team. Former LSU guy, a very good north-south runner. That'll fit well here. Shout out to Brother John. How you doing, sir? John Singleton, shout out to you. Appreciate you. Swag fan as well. Appreciate you. It's a solid signing as well. 504 Co, how you doing? St. Doug, shout out to you, brother. Good to see y'all in the chat. Much love to everybody. This is an interesting signing for the Saints because it does definitely help the running back room. And remember, Kamara's there. Kendre Miller was dinged up. Didn't look really good in the matchup, fam. Going into the game, didn't look really good. He didn't look good. He had, 4 or 5 carries for like average a yard per carry. He just didn't look like his usual decisive, powerful self like we seen him in college. We seen him during through the training camp. Didn't look the same in the game. I'm like, well, yeah, and that's some of the things, he could have been banged up. I'm not saying that's official, but to me, just saying, to me, he looked like he was banged up in the game. I don't know when it happened, if it happened before. Sometimes guys kind of hold back on how they feeling or whatever. And then later on, you find out what time it is, but it's nothing serious. So we'll get it popping. Joseph, how you doing, fam? Appreciate you as well. So let's get into this article right here on the Saints from the whodatdaily.com. Y'all can check it out. Please feel free to go there, share the article as we get going. And Niles Carpenter, our Saints contributor, wrote this article, and a lot of this was sourced from Nick Underhill. He dropped some good science on it. Saints have made a strategic move by signing running back Darrell Williams According to the information from Nick Underhill, Williams, who spent his initial 4 seasons with the Chiefs, faced stiff competition with the team's depth chart during the time. However, in 21 season saw a turning point for Williams as he garnered increased playing time, making 7 starts and showcasing his versatility. The 28-year-old athlete capitalized on his opportunities, delivering an impressive performance that transferred to 558 rushing yards, along with 6 touchdowns, accompanied by an additional 452 receiving yards with 2 touchdowns attached. As the Saints navigate a scenario where star running back Elvin Kamara is temporarily absent, a significant portion of the backfield responsibilities now rest on the shoulders of newly acquired free agent Jamal Williams and 3rd-round rookie Kendre Miller. Unfortunately, the team faced an injury scare when Miller suffered, a knee sprain during a recent preseason victory. Despite the setback, reports from Tom Pelissero of NFL Network indicated that Miller is expected to make a timely recovery without need of surgery, keeping the possibility of his return by week 1 intact. Additionally, the Saints explored their options by conducting a workout with former Green Bay Packer running back Kalen Hill, and further highlighting their commitment to reinforcing the running back lineup. And you can see both tweets by Nick Underhill, signed Darrell Williams, and then of course he had the other tweet. Saints also worked out Kalen Hill there as well. So with the signing of Williams and a dynamic mix of established players and promising rookies, the Saints are making strategic moves to ensure a robust and versatile backfield, even in the absence of key players. Key personnel players, of course, is Alvin Kamara. And despite, and notice, and like I said, I just love how the Saints were able to do this, because this is really interesting there. It's very interesting because how the Saints roll in this things, like injuries occur, they're proactively jumping right on it. They're jumping right on it and they're taking care of it. So that's really positive and popping to see them operating like that. So pretty cool. All right, 504 Coach, shout out to you, fam. Appreciate you. He says, what's up, Joe? How you doing, sir? He says, Q, why didn't I pick it up for net? Now, listen, bro, I knew absolutely nothing about this. So shout out to our favorite Rastafarian, my dog, DC. Listen, he was hitting on this and he was telling me some stuff, and I don't really want to repeat it, but it was street stuff. And for those who know what I'm saying, they know what I'm saying on the street stuff. And about the relationship from a personal perspective between the Fournette family and the what's his name, Tyrann Mathieu and Leonard Fournette. So it's some history there, family wise. I'm just gonna leave it at that. That could have been a part of this whole dynamic why they went in a different direction. That's just street stuff. Now DC kind of educated me on that stuff, so shout out to him for sprinkling that game in my ear. I don't know if that's the main reason why that happened, but me personally, I was saying to myself, Leonard Fournette is a guy that would be an interesting pickup for the Saints. He's there. It wouldn't cost you a lot of money, but deep down, and shout out to Bob Rose, who wrote an article, had Darrell Williams on that list. He was down there, but he's from Marrero, Louisiana, so he's a local guy. He went to LSU. Had some success there, and he ran hard as hell at LSU. He had very productive years in his capacity with the Kansas City Chiefs. That was popping and positive as well. So getting him here is not a bad move for the team, to be honest with you, to be able to add him for what you're going to do with him. He's a north-south power runner who has the ability to catch the ball out the backfield. So just some street stuff right there. But, it is what it is. And we still get the power. We still get the guy that can catch him. We still get an LSU running back. He's just not as known as Leonard Fournette is. All right. So shout out. What's up, Pammy? How you doing? Say Q, who that family yesterday is over. Let's get back to work. That's right. We are rolling. Getting close to Tuesday, man. Tomorrow is Patreon Tuesday for the family members as well. All right. So let's keep it going, fam, as we move on. So, yeah. So Williams is the sign, and the Saints tried out too. They picked up Williams, which is a smart move. It's not going to, I'm going to have to look up the contract, but I don't think it's an expensive move for the Saints to be able to get Williams in here. And he's a veteran with some ability that could still solidify the room. So very positive as far as that goes. All right, let's keep it moving and move on to the next thing here. As we go into the Kendre Miller situation, we talk about Kendre Miller and what was happening with him. He injured his knee in the preseason opener. And the Saints rookie running back Kendre Miller left Sunday's preseason game against the Chiefs with a knee injury, potentially dealing another blow to the thinning Saints room. Now, Saints coach Dennis Allen said Miller sprained a knee and will undergo further testing. and he believed. Now, this was yesterday. Of course, we know that it's not as serious, and it won't even require surgery. So they're gonna shut him down for pretty much the rest of the regular season. They're gonna some Rashid Shaheed type stuff. So that's also positive that he'll be ready, won't stop nothing. And of course, they mentioned that he came off the field in the third quarter and went to the tent. We know what time it is. Saints will be shorthanded to begin the season if they don't sign. And this was yesterday, like I said, and they did get Darrell Williams. The Saints hosted free agent Kareem Hunt last week. Enu Benjamin ruptured his Achilles. That was a part of the game. But rookie Ellis Merriweather had a very, had some more reps in the game as well, showing what he can do for the Saints. And then, of course, you had Kamara Williams, and then, of course, they had Darrell Williams into the mix. Kirk Merritt was injured as well. So the Saints saying that, we needed. So we talked about Kirk Merritt being a guy that the Saints can move over to the running back room. He's dealing with an injury as well. So the Saints just said, let me go to the street and go pick up some guys that can help us move this thing along. So let's then also look at the current depth chart here as we keep it moving, and you see some of the Saints depth chart here. In terms of, if we go to where the running backs are, you can see Jamal Williams right here. It's the first out. Kirk Merritt, who's banged up, and Ellis Merriweather. You see Darrell Williams is right here. So it's cool because what you get is still in all, the Saints still have a powerful running back room. Kendre Miller is a positive because Kendre Miller is going, according to the reports, should be ready for week 1 against the Tennessee Titans. That's a positive. We got Williams here, the free agent running back we just signed to help out there. So that's a positive. Of course, we're going to be without Alvin Kamara for the first 3 weeks of the season until we get to Tampa Bay. Ellis Merriweather, he should get some more carries as we get further on. And it appears that the Saints really like Ellis Merriweather a lot. They brought him in here, and they like what he brings to the running back room. He runs hard as hell, and he's an interesting character for the Saints. So we'll see if they keep kind of moving in that direction and giving him more opportunities to show what he can do. Well, you definitely see more of him going into the season because Jamal Williams and Alvin Kamara will have some spots. And then when the second team roll out, you see Ellis Merriweather in the second half doing this thing. We'll see Williams come out there as well. So Saints, the reality is this though, fam. How you see the Saints operating. The Saints are moving in a way like if something happens, like injuries happen, they're right on it. They're very proactive. And that's the like a tall tale sign that the Saints are serious. Like, remember last year we have injuries at the defensive line position. The Saints would go and look at a practice squad defensive tackle, put them on a practice squad. Nothing really major happened. This time around, they're not taking any shots. It's a different reaction level that they're playing with here because they understand the seriousness of what they're facing. We talked about this before with all the renovations to the dome. They took all the escalators out. They spent a lot of taxpayer money, a lot of hundreds of millions of dollars renovating the Superdome, and they're anticipating a big profit year for the Saints. Now, it happens if the Saints are successful. That's why they spent all this money on the offense, changing around, adding some offensive head coaches, assistant coaches, pardon me, to the offensive room, adding guys to the defensive room, getting a new defensive coordinator here, and changing everything, making it comfortable for Dennis. It's all about Dennis Allen. Now, Dennis Allen's world. It's not Sean Payton's world no more. But Dennis Allen had to fit in and see if he can win with Payton's coaches. All that done changed. He done got all his guys in it. So it's Dennis Allen's world. He got his quarterback that he wanted. He got the draft picks that he wanted. He got the coaching, the assistant coaching personnel in that he wanted. This is not Sean Payton's world anymore, even though the offensive side of the team bears some of his identity in terms of his philosophy with the West Coast offense. But when you look around everywhere else, it's Dennis Allen's world. And if you look at Dennis Allen during the press conferences and the training camp, doesn't he have more of a more relaxed feel about it? He looks, and his energy level, his aura, even how he talks to the press is more head coachy, if that's a word. But, we'll see if it translates into success. But the energy is right. That's all I can say. The energy is right. The energy is right. So you got a team that has a ton of talent, that has chip on their shoulders, and they're very proactive. If things pop up, they're there on it. They're in the free agency. We got injuries in the running back room. They're bringing running backs in to work out, to listen to. And then ultimately what they do, boom, the guys that make the most sense, they're signing them. They're doing some very solid moves on all phases of the game. And you got to respect the hell out of that, man. So all this could translate into something. All right, so anyway, shout out to the fam, man. Appreciate y'all. What's up, RG? What's popping, plan? What's happening, my man? Dana, what's up, Queen? Shout out to the queens and kings of the coma, man. Appreciate y'all being here. Nola Ball, shout out to you, fam. Appreciate you, sir. All right, much love to the fam. All right, so anyway, Molly Mall, shout out to you, brethren. All right, good to see you out there as well. And anyway, that's some of the stuff that we're gonna talk about. Now, fam, before we get ready to roll, because like I told you, I wasn't gonna hold y'all long. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a like old Christian minister, you know. I'm not gonna hold y'all long. And then 5 hours later, y'all still sitting up here pissed because you missed the game and every damn thing. But anyway, you know, the minister, if he a good one, to tell you, hey man, I'm trying to save your soul. The hell with that game. You can TiVo that thing or or play it back. You don't want to hear that though. But anyway, let me get ready to play. This is from Pat McAfee, man. And we actually I reacted to McAfee's full interview that he did with Jimmy Graham, which is pretty cool. Seeing Jimmy Graham flying in airplanes, and he flies planes and helicopters. He says he has several dozen licenses, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm correct. And just the type of stuff that he does and all this stuff that he does, which is pretty cool. But he also talked about his idea about the Saints team and what he could bring, and the reason why he's back in New Orleans, that type of stuff. But in this show, McAfee kind of talks about the Saints and what he sees from the Saints and Derek Carr and his thought process on it. So that's right, Pammy. I'm on the clock, baby. I'm on the clock. Hey man, what's up, fam? Says RB went from a position of strength to I know this is and that's what I'm saying. I really like the fact how they're very proactive. That's just something that we didn't see during the season. Like prior to the season getting there, they made their moves, but when the season started, they didn't take that energy into the end season from the off season, and it just failed. Had they taken that in there, we would have had a better outing. This time around, it feels a little different. So yeah, indeed, we have the media, national media is actually on the Saints side this year. And a lot of the Whodats, they on their Glenn Jones stuff right now, after seeing last year, and I can't be mad at them, but the national media, they got short memories. They got short memories and amnesia and every damn thing else. But listen to what Pat McAfee had to say about the Saints, man. It should kind of make you a little happy. Here go McAfee. Put one in the chat if y'all can hear this, man. Here we go.
I was listening to the game. Derek Carr said that the offense reminds him of the John Gruden offense. So, you saw John Gruden down at training camp, I think a week or two ago. Yeah. We do not know if he emailed anybody from there, but we do know that he was there. He understands the offense, I guess, because it is similar to a John Gruden offense. Yeah. So it makes sense that he would be there because there's a touchdown throw that he has here at the end of this drive where he scans a couple places out, and then he knows where to go with it if it's there, and throws just a perfect ball to a spot. This is what people talk about whenever they say he looks comfortable. Like, Derek Carr looks very fucking comfortable there. Yeah. Not only is he because he's not getting pressure, okay, we get it, but he knows exactly where he's supposed to be going with that. That's like his third read, and then he puts it on an absolute line to the guy. Just
perfect.
That feels like a regular season type play, regular season type comfort. That's the first preseason game. If you're a Saints fan, you got to be very fucking pumped about that. And seemingly run out of the building in Las Vegas. Yeah. Now, I put that out in a tweet, and I had a lot of Raiders fans say, he was there for 9 years. We ran him out of there, however long he was there. You think we ran him out?
Still got benched.
I'm like, yeah, kind of. It sounds like Derek Carr's like, if it was about money, like, I would have signed something that was said.
Yeah. I mean, they revoked his key card.
Actually, the longer you're there, the more it's run out.
Yes.
Yeah, like the GPS, the little tag thing.
Right.
To get into the building.
Fob.
Just, you've seen it on Hard Knocks. Yeah, fob, there it is. That you've seen it in every building that you've ever had to try to get into post 2018, 19?
Yeah.
20?
Around there, yeah.
Yeah, just walks up. Hey, been here 9 years. I helped move the team to this city. I've done a lot of...
Light turns red.
I need you to stop running that door too. Don't hurt yourself. That's actually what we're need you to potentially get the fuck out of here. He opened up about that a couple weeks ago. Now that we're seeing where he's at, and you hear Jimmy Graham talk about the culture down there, Saints are like, as I was watching them, and obviously I am a victim of the moment.
Sure, of course, sure.
Always happens to me. Don't actually. Okay. Shout out Brett Favre.
Absolutely.
That works, by the way, because sue me, don't actually.
Yeah.
Like we were saying that long before the actual outcome.
Captain Sidebar.
You know what I mean? Like
Pat Mack.
but it is the actual.
That's
I
actually
think it was
what-
first
yeah.
day.
That's the detail of the story.
Right.
Anyways, shout out Brett
Brett
Favre.
Favre.
Captain Sidebar. Anyway, the point of the matter is, shout out to McAfee, really feeling the Saints, and listen, the drive was a very good drive for the Saints. It really was. The Derek Carr drive was very good. The him getting down there into the red zone and how comfortable they were able to get the ball in the end zone. With him going through the progressions, you could see he scanned from left to right, found the receiver, and threw the ball ahead to the receiver. And he's absolutely right, to the spot. Keith Kirkwood made a great catch, got both feet down in more than enough time, touchdown. Now, we know that, when you go over, and we talked about this previously, that the success of the Saints in terms of, it'll be a large part of it is Derek Carr, because he's at the prima donna position. He's at the QB position. You got to have a guy that knows what he's doing there for you to have success in the NFL. If you don't have a quarterback there that can do what he's supposed to do, you end up like the Tampa Bay Skunkaneers and a few other teams that ain't pretty good in the NFL. So Saints spent a lot of money to get Carr here. He is familiar with the West Coast offense, even if it's a John Gruden style, even though he got John Gruden in here. And I think, I don't have anything to prove, this is just my instinct here, I think it was more Carr than Dennis Allen in terms of getting Gruden here to help him really lock into what the Saints is going to do. But anyway, the idea is Saints are leaving no stone unturned to make sure they bridge any gaps that they have to make just to guarantee as much as they possibly can a successful playoff series, a playoff season. This is what this is about. These type of moves that you make when you bring and give you this guy this kind of money, Derek Carr, that is, bringing back the full offensive line from last year for continuity purposes, attempting to fortify it with depth, which is what they usually do, finding the best backup offensive lineman, spending draft picks on the defense. Saints read up with Cam, making sure he's happy, getting the pass rush of the future and Isaiah Foskey. Peyton Turner's turning it up. They brought in two guys. Soon as Onyemata and Shai Tuttle was out of here, I think it was the next day or less than 24 hours later, they had both Saunders and then I think Shepard signed first, then Saunders. And then when the draft came along, they picked up Breesy and Foskey with the first and second round picks, then proceeded to get what they possibly believe a replacement for Elvin Kamara down the line, and Kendre Miller, who's an absolute beast. A potential quarterback of the future who Derek Carr had something to do with them drafting. He was also from Fresno State, who's also a guy that will Drew Brees jerseys, and Jake Hayner coming up, and now he's a Saints quarterback. To me, that's really crazy as well. And then all this other stuff. So A.T. Perry, who has 6 catches on 6 targets and a touchdown in the game. So the Saints flowed and looked good with the first team unit. And then, of course, as we got from the second to the third, there was a bit of a drop off there. But still in all, what we seen from the Saints in that drive was very good. Very good. You see Michael Thomas get a catch. The Saints moved the ball quite effortlessly. They were able to offensive line block pretty well. They were able to do what they had to do. So I don't know what they look like going into the second game in terms of, do Dennis Allen rolls out Derek Carr in the first team again for the first series of the second preseason game? I have no idea. We'll find that out. But at the end, the Saints had a very good outing in terms of us seeing what this expensive offense looks like with Jimmy Graham and all these other guys roaming around there. So when you see that, you got to think them bringing in Gruden, them bringing in Joe Woods on the defensive side, and then Dennis Allen doesn't have to take all of the extra responsibilities of being a coach when he's trying to, gather the defense. He got Joe Woods running the defense for him. That's his handpicked guy. And several other coaches on the defensive side, new defensive line coach, that's his guy, new secondary coach, that's his guy. So he has multiple guys. He has assistant coaches that he picked up on, the former defensive back that played for him in Raiderland, Giordano or whatever his name is. He's an assistant on the team. So all these most majority of these positions are littered with Dennis Allen appointees. So this team is Dennis Allen's squad. Second year, I got to give it to him. He looks really comfortable, but does it translate into wins? That's what we need to see. Right now, my crystal ball is currently cracked and on the fritz. It will be repaired for the first week of the season. So we'll just have to wait and see. I don't have the crystal ball. It's cracked and broken because of, I ain't gonna tell you how it got cracked and broken, but it is what it is. All right. So anyway, that's Pat McAfee dropping this game there, and he's very excited. A lot of the Who Dat Nation is very excited about the potentiality of what the Saints represent in the 2023 season. Yes, we are. We are very excited about this. So the big news of the day, family, is ultimately the fact that the Saints did add running back Williams from Kansas City. He was at LSU, thumper running back, also has some ability to be able to catch the ball out the backfield. He will fit perfectly into the backup role as the Saints. The Saint running back, he won't cost you a lot of money. He has some experience, and he's a north-south thumper, which we can keep the pressure on. I look forward to seeing him in the next upcoming game, him and the linebacker we just picked up, Smith. So we'll be looking pretty good for that. All right, Andrew, shout out to you, brother. How you doing tonight on the stream? Much love to you. He says, I don't like third string QB. He was trash, couldn't move the ball. He did some positive things toward the end, and the third quarter was just horrible. The offense died in the third quarter. It was just, it didn't feel good, but they caught fire in the fourth. They had the turnover, and then ultimately he still was able to get in the end zone. They had the play when he got into the end zone with the running back, and then finally the field goal right there by the backup kicker actually kicked the Saints into a victory. So the reality is, like, you want to see all of your players. And remember, a lot of these guys, like especially Jake Haener, they're playing with third stringers. I kind of think about how would Jake Haener look in the first team offense? How would Jameis Winston? We know what Jameis looked like, but what would Jake Haener look like in the first team offense, or even the second team offense, where the offensive linemen are better? He has the time to go through his progressions. Some of the wide receivers are better. Everybody's a level or two, maybe a level higher than that guy. That's why they're in the third string. So you see a lot of those third stringer guys in there when he's playing. So guys are blow blocks, guys drop passes. He himself was throwing the ball. You could tell he was a bit nervous for his first outing in the preseason. I think he'll settle down in the next matchup, because you're gonna see a lot of Jake Haener more than any other quarterback over the next two games, no doubt about it. So I'm anticipating him, like his throw to Brian Edwards was just, what was that? You put it down in his chest where he has an opportunity. He was throwing it up high. I thought he had a little nerves going on in the third quarter, but ultimately I think you'll see better outings from Haener over the next two preseason matchups, because that's the quarterback you're going to see more than anybody, Yeah. So, yeah, he'll learn, family. That's just, listen, he looked better than Ian Book. Remember, I don't know if you've seen the Philadelphia game when Ian Book was in there, but to me, Jake Haener looked better than Ian Book. I'm just going to be honest. Throw that Ian Book in there, man. I think he looked a lot better than him. All right. I don't know who going to sign him, bro. It won't be the Saints. The Saints look right past him, somebody else from LSU. So at least they're looking at guys from LSU and that. So that's not bad. All right, Cap Manny, how you doing, sir? He says, what's y'all grade on Trevor Penning? I think Trevor Penning had a nasty, mean pancake, like he was angry with somebody. I think he has the potential to be something special. It's just the big thing about Penning's game is that he has to stay under control, which he got into a little skirmish at the practice, but I think outside of that's pretty good, because it shows his fire that you can't play with Trevor Penning. You can't play with him. Now, the Saints need that mentality from Penning, because the reality is most of those guys don't have that meanness. I mean, Ramczyk used to have it until they gave him a boatload of cash. Now he loves everybody. I love everybody. Everybody. He loves every damn body now. It's hugs and kisses and all this emojis. Everybody get a hug and kiss and lips emoji and all this kind of stuff. Since they gave him the boatload of cash, Ramczyk don't play with the same ferocity as he did, and he was banged up, all that kind of stuff. But still in all, even if you banged up, you still ain't supposed to look like a shell of yourself. I mean, this guy was really good. So we need him to get that anger to a degree, that mean streak back. I seen Cesar Ruiz plays with a little anger there. Andrews Pete from time to time does. McCoy is more a smooth brother, but at times it'll come out. So we need to have the nastiness mentality that Trevor Penning has, because the Saints offensive line need that same nastiness under control, of course. I want it under control. So I grade him. He did okay in the game, but like I said, his biggest thing is he has to stay healthy, to really, reach his potential. Trevor Penning has to stay healthy. So yeah, I like how Penning's. You just got to stand there and keep getting those reps. He'll get better. Dana says our third string QB had a better day than Bryce Young and half the other rookie QBs that started. Thank you, Dana. Dana dropping some facts on you. And everybody was talking about, Bryce and all that. Bryce was in there getting it handed to him. That offensive line for the Carolina Panthers, we know it's just their rookie game, their first game with the rookie. But listen, let me tell you something, and that's what one of the things I was saying is that you gonna have to protect that guy. And then you added all these skilled people. You added all these, shout out to Terrence Marshall Jr. I heard he got carted off the field. Shout out to him. He's LSU guy. But you look at what the Carolina Panthers have, they have to do something about protecting Bryce Young. You can't let guys just beat, those guys were getting beaten and getting in there and taking shots on them. I mean, not like gingerly shots. I mean, shots and knocking him on his ass. You can't do that. That will not work. That will not work. So Frank Wright is going to have to figure a way how to fix that thing. And now Carolina people say, don't worry about it, Q. We're going to be fine. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm just trying to show y'all some love because that's how the Who Dat Nation do. We show you some love, because I could be pointing to you and tell you, hey, listen, bro, in several weeks from now, we're going to be coming in there and doing the same shit that them people was doing to you in the first preseason game. Or we're going to modify and make the code. Okay, we'll see. We're going to see. We're going to come in there and be knocking them around and all that kind of stuff and let it that he ain't. Listen, no quarterback is made for that. But you didn't see that with with Derek Carr in there. Did you see people knocking Derek Carr on his ass? So I mean, like I said, you got to protect your quarterback, man. So good point on that, Dan. Shout out to you on that one. Yeah, Andrew says book was trash. Under control and stay healthy. Thank you, Bobby. That's what we talking about. All right, Bobby says Ramczyk is a care bear. Yeah, he does. I love everybody. Yeah, you might as well paint him pink and put one of them big old Care Bear hearts on it. You might. Well, I ain't gonna say. I ain't gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that about it. All right, Joyce says Jake was getting a lot of praise in camp, and that can add some pressure. He'll be fine. I agree with you. Thank you for that, Joy. I agree wholeheartedly with you. I believe that that Jake Haener has a lot of promise. And here in the Who Dat Nation, we kind of hard on our backup quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Because to a degree, we had Drew here for years, and we were looking for guys that could potentially be his heirs. And for when he was here, we had a laundry list of people. We thought it would be Chase Daniels at first. Chase Daniels was the guy that we loved. We loved Chase Daniels, but somebody overpaid for Chase Daniels. And for a while, Chase Daniels was like making more money than any backup quarterback in the league, which was crazy. But we thought Chase Daniels was the guy. Then somebody picked him up. I think it was Philly or somebody else. Then he went elsewhere. Then we had kind of a rotating thing. And then Sean Payton just decided, hey, man, I'm not good at developing young quarterbacks. So let me just go get guys that have 4, 5, 6 years worth of experience. Then Teddy Bridgewater came in here. Yeah, Teddy for a couple of years got bored with him, then started picking up Taysom Hill, trying to make him a quarterback, then realized Taysom, he's Steve Young. Nah, pump your brakes on that, John. So he got done with that. And then, of course, you've seen some other pieces come in here. But when you see the traditional way of how people usually do it, like they'll have a veteran, like what the Saints are doing right now. Derek Carr is the quarterback for the next 4 years, and the way it's setting up in his mind, or how he was delivering, is that once my contract is over with and I move on out the way, this is Jake Haener's team. Now, that's yet to be determined if Jake Haener is going to be the quarterback in 4 years. That's a good ways off. But Jake Haener does have a lot of promise. He does have the heart that similar. He modeled his game after Drew. Don't mean he's going to be Drew, but he's a lot of potentiality in Jake Haener. I think he was a little nervous, had a little butterflies there. He had a few throws that were too high, but I'm telling you, you'll see more of him in the next 2 preseason games than anybody, and I'm pretty sure you'll see a better outing from him going down the line. So shout out to you, Joy. Thank you for that. All right, Bryce. Nola says Bryce was looking like Danny. He gonna look a lot better, man. Trust me. They gotta do something about those protections, man. They really do. Of course, I was just watching some film about putting Saunders in some short yard. Yes, yeah, man. Listen, that old refrigerator Perry move, man, that takes some imagination, man. That would be fun to see, to be honest with you, man. Jamaica says, I hope they don't do Bryce like Justin Fields. Yeah, Fields, they were trying to trade Fields and they settled down with Fields. Then they decided to give him a wide receiver in the former what's his name from Carolina, the wide receiver from Carolina. They traded him there for the pick that they used to give Bryce Young. Chicago gave him the top pick. And then they got DJ Moore. That's what I'm thinking. DJ Moore is the guy. Then they have Chase Claypool there. And then they added, they had Mooney from Tulane, the little fantastic wide receiver Mooney, then the tight end Komet or whatever it is. And I say, damn, they got some really interesting pieces there with Justin Fields. My question is, how's the offensive line? That's the next question. Like, for these guys to have success, and shout out to Jordan Love. Jordan Love looked really good in the Green Bay matchup, by the way. But the reality is, like, okay, for quarterbacks to have success, you've got to have a good offensive line. You got to be solid in the trenches to protect that quarterback so he don't get knocked around. And look what happened to Jameis Winston as he was behind the second stringers offensive line, and at first he was doing his thing, and then sacks he started getting hit, then the sacks came, and then for a veteran quarterback that's almost a decade in the league, look what pressure and sacks do to him. So you can imagine what that would do to a rookie quarterback or a young quarterback in there and his confidence. I thought like when the Saints seen what happened, one of the worst rookie outings I ever seen was against the Miami Dolphins, Saints and Dolphins, when Book was in there and Book got the book thrown at him, man. I mean, he was in there. He got tore up in that game. That was one of the worst rookie quarterback outings that I've ever seen. To a degree, it might have destroyed his confidence. Perhaps the Saints seen that and say, you know what, let him go. Because if you think about it, was no reasonable idea why you can say, listen, we're going to protect we see potential in him. After that happened, the Saints seen something, man, and let the Eagles pick him off the practice squad. Well, you can have him, we'll find somebody else. Something happened. I was like, damn, does he recover from that? Because that was the thing I was thinking, like, man, this young guy, that was one of the worst outings I ever seen a rookie quarterback had to go through. The Saints probably would have done better if they'd have went on the street and find a veteran and threw him in there as opposed to do that to Ian Book. I even asked the Great Saint Think Tank and Who That Nation is, if Book didn't start in that game against the Miami Dolphins, would he still be on the Saints team today? I mean, it was so bad. Perhaps that played a part of it. It had to play a part. Saints looked at him and said, I think we're going to move on. That's tough to get over, man. But yes, indeed. I would say our quarterback, Hainer, looked a lot better than poor Ian Book, man, who just continues to get the book thrown at him. DJ D Smooth, what's happening, brother? How you doing, sir? Appreciate you. All right, Mark, how you doing, sir? He says, hard to believe Alex Collins died. He was only 20. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. Man, listen, bro, this is some strange times here, Mark. Let me tell you something, bro. Very strange times going on here. All right, DJ D Smooth says, Perry is going to be a diamond in the rough. Yeah, I know, bro. Hasta la vista to Traquan Smith. That's all I got to say. The Saints drafted him in the 6th round, A.T. Perry, that is, and they're looking for somebody. He's a big receiver with speed. And what I really liked about A.T. Perry in the game, and I said this in the recap show yesterday, was the fact that that touchdown, look how much effort he had in that touchdown. He was hell-bent on getting that in that end zone. He dived out, stretched out there, put the ball there, and then it went out of bounds, but you got to give him credit for how he was able to, that was just straight out effort. And 6 targets, 6 catches, a touchdown. The average is almost 11, 12 yards per catch. A.T. Perry had a phenomenal performance in the matchup yesterday. Phenomenal. And that's what the Saints were looking for, because they wanted big wide receivers who can catch and run. He is a member of that. I guarantee you A.T. Perry is not going to end up on no goddamn practice squad. I mean, he's going to be the main reason why Traquan Smith's pushed off this team to the practice squad, because of the way he's playing. Now, we got 2 more games left to play, but this is a hell of an impression. You're a 6th round pick, and he just goes out there and do regular stuff, and he should be fine. He should be fine. And if they keep a 5th wide receiver, more than likely they will, it'll probably be one of the kick returners like a Lynn Bowden Jr., perhaps Kiki Cote got cut for Smith the linebacker, so is Jontre Kirkland. So I mean, we'll see how it all shakes, man. But yeah, I've been telling people, man, look, the time's up for Traquan. We done gave him all of the smoke, all of the love we can possibly give him. And it's time, man. The Saints say, man, we need production there, and we need a futuristic guy with a high ceiling that, Mike is 31 years of age. He's getting up there, and A.T. Perry with the rest of our young wide receivers. And listen, let me give a big shout out to wide receiver coach Cody Burns. Cody Burns, shout out to wide receiver coach Cody Burns. The Saints picked him up last year, and he's phenomenal, man. Cody Burns has done a hell of a job with these wide receivers. We've seen Shaq Davis in there making plays for the team. Had a nice catch late in the game to keep a drive alive. We've seen some real phenomenal plays from our wide receivers, and shout out to Cody Burns, our wide receiver coach, man. He's in there handling the business, baby. It's what I'm talking about. All right. So Randy says, he says, you guys need another hurricane from Goodell and Reps to give you a Super Bowl. Not sir, Randy. No, sir. He says, it's entertaining people listed and trademarked as entertainment, not a sport. Yeah, we are very aware of that, sir. Thank you. He says, who you acquire for your team is meaningless. The game isn't decided on the field. Okay. Thank you, Randy. Okay. If it's not really, football is not really, you're spinning it like it's a total control thing. It's not totally controlled. And listen, I'm more of the proactive person to say, listen, you call it out, and then it's based on the people that's watching it, their intelligence level to understand what they're watching and to call it out and let them know we're not playing that. And that's how you clean the sport. And I'm gonna tell you another thing, Mr. Randy, that the most corrupt sport in all of America is not football, it's actually boxing. Boxing is by far way more corrupt than football could ever possibly hope to be. In order to clean up the sports, it starts not with the people on the inside because they're banking out, but it starts on the people on the outside that are feeding these dollars to the sport. If people stop buying their stuff, then they'll clean it up. They'll change it. So it's all controlled by you anyway. So to take a stance like you're not going to participate in it, you're not helping here. We need people that's going to actually proactively act and do things to clean up the sport, like call it out, and not only just call it out, but actually make moves to kind of ferret out and make sure we get this stuff together and let them know, hey, we see what you're doing. We're not playing that with you. We calling you out. That's how you fix stuff, my friend. I'm aware of that. All right. So anyway, let's keep it going. K-Man says, Q, they interviewed Cody Burns this week. He's AT Barrett, elite separation skills off the line. He looked really good, man. He looked really good, man. I'm not, like I said, he looks good, man. All right. So anyway, Dana says it was kind of funny watching the rookie QBs, like watching the baby take the first few steps. It was pretty fun, man, watching that. Yeah, we cool, man. We do what we do. What's up, Barbara? Shout out you, babe. Appreciate you. All right. Much love to you. Yeah, Cody Burns is the man. Cody Burns has done a wonderful job. Mike Thomas talked about Cody Burns. What he did, how his impact has been there. Chris Olave talked about him, and everybody talks big about him. It's almost it's the same type of it's like the Saints did wonderfully when they got Ryan Nielsen and brought him in here. He was a defensive line coach in college, and the Saints brought him in. Never had no NFL experience, but he was a defensive line coach at what was it, North Carolina State, the Wolfpack. He was there. He was turning out really good defensive linemen, and Sean Payton waited. He got rid of his old boys, and he waited for a long time, and that was one of his last moves like that year. And he got rid of Bill Johnson, sorry ass. He got rid of a few of these other old bums that was been around him, circulating around him, eating up money. And he went and got Ryan Nielsen, and that changed a lot in the Saints defense, and never regretted it. So I mean, when they went to Tennessee and got Cody Burns, I thought that was a really big move there because I think he was replacing Curtis. Wasn't it Coach Curtis that was there at the wide receiver position? And Coach Curtis went somewhere. I forgot where he went. To Detroit, or I forgot where he went, but they went to college and got Cody Burns, and Cody Burns has been special. It's been awesome seeing that type of move happen. So I pinpoint a couple of these guys that came from college, like Ryan Nielsen, had major success in the defensive line, and a guy like Cody Burns that's attention to detail and ability to communicate the game are outer-worldly. You look at guys like Joe Woods, who've been in the game for a long time, really super cool dude, knows how to communicate the game. Really awesome, man. So the Saints have a lot of really good people there that can help them move this thing in the right direction. So I'm really good. I'm really cool with that. All right. So with that being said, man, listen, man, let me get ready to, DJ, D Smooth says, yeah, Big Q Pennon had, I know he did, man. Pennon had a nasty pinning move. I think Pennon had on, somebody put it up on Twitter, man, where they had him out here, and he had one where he had a mean pancake. Y'all probably seen it. I don't know if y'all probably seen the move when he had a mean pancake move on somebody, man. I was like, God damn. He pancaked the hell out the guy in the game, man. So, I don't know if you guys seen that play, but it was pretty cool watching Pennon get loose like that. But like I said, he's a guy that you gotta you just gotta stay healthy, fam. That's the only thing about Pennon. Stay healthy and keep doing what he's doing. All right, and speaking of doing what we're doing, I'm gonna get ready to get on the pod here. So listen, I like to thank all you guys for tuning in the show tonight. Much love to the fam, 120 plus in the building. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share the show on your social media feed. Saints group, let them know we in the building. We doing our thing. Also, please feel free to go to whothatdaily.com. The link is in the description section, and support our headquartered site, our own news site, where we got writers and everything writing great stories on boxing, pro football, pro basketball. All this stuff is going on at the whothatdaily.com. It's for the community. It's for the Who Dat Nation, man, and the diehards and just sports family members who enjoy this, the camaraderie of doing everything we're doing. So, and it's all because of you guys, all the great, fantastic support that you guys have had over the years of supporting us, and we continue to turn out great and represent for the Who Dat Nation. That's what we all about, baby. So listen, I like to thank all you fantastic people for tuning in the show tonight. I'm gonna let y'all go ahead on and get y'all rest, and I'm gonna holler at the family members, our YouTube members, and Patreon champions tomorrow on Patreon Tuesday. If you want to join us, be a part of the Patreon and be a part of the family, be a part of the movement, all the fantastic stuff that we got going on. Please feel free to go to patreon.com/the Pro Media Network, or simply join our YouTube channel. A lot of lock content, tons of lock content over there. Our new show On Cue with Big Q is over there, and tons of other shows from TSC Patreon is available there as well. So with that being said, if you want to know anything about that, the link's in the description section below, among others. I'm gonna holler at y'all on the flip side, man. Y'all keep y'all eyes open, your hearts open, and everything. Who Dat Nation, man. Listen, we looking pretty good this year. We looking pretty good, man. Can't wait for the second preseason game. Get through this to get to the games that count, man. Bring on the Tennessee Titans. We ready. All right, I'm gonna holler at y'all on the flip side. Much love, and Who Dat J.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who Dat. I'm a Who Dat. Long as I'm living, I'm a Who Dat. Lose or winning, I'm a Who Dat. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who Dat. I'm a Who Dat. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Probably like this, and I'm a Who Dat. Every day I'm living, I'm a Who Dat. Lose or winning, I'm a Who Dat. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who Dat. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us.